Miracles, miracles are here.
Good morning. Welcome to Faith in the Morning. Something good is going to happen to you today, so expect miracles. Thank you for joining me today. Faith in the Morning exists to help you start your day with faith and encouragement, and that's exactly what's going to happen today. So go ahead and say with me, say, this is going to be a great week for me. Come on, say out loud, put in the chat. Say, this is going to be a great week for me. Come on, say out loud, put in the chat. If you're watching a place that's a chat or a comment section, say, this is going to be a great week for me. Yes, it will. Thank you for starting your day with faith in the morning. However you're streaming, however you're watching, I'm so glad that you're a part, whether it's on Tuvu or Facebook or YouTube, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or the Faith Plus app. Thank you for streaming Faith in the Morning. Thank you for adding us to your morning routine. We're going to get started with our Faith in the Morning confession. You can find it in the description on social media as well as the show notes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's so important to start our days saying what God says about us. It helps us live the life God has called us to live. So go ahead and say it with me. Say, I'm the salt of the earth. I'm the light of this world. Jesus said it, so I believe it. I'm a carrier of the glory of God. Today, I will experience the extreme goodness of God. Today, I make myself available for God to show his goodness to others through me. Today, I am increasing in influence. Today, I will see the goodness of God in my life. Today, something good is going to happen to me, so I expect miracles. Go with me to Acts chapter 26, verse 2. In the next couple of days, we're finishing our reading through the book of Acts. And so as we're reading Acts chapter 26, I want to share a verse with you. Acts 26, verse 2. At Acts chapter 26, verse 2. This is Paul giving his defense before the king and the rulers. And they said, Paul, what do you have to say for yourself? Notice what it says in the New King James. The Apostle Paul says, I think myself happy. I think myself happy. I've heard one person translate saying, I'm a happy man. You must say, Paul. You've been held in prison. You've been limited. People have lied on you. People have tried to kill you. And now you're standing in front of a king because you've been doing what is right. And they said, well, what do you have to say for yourself? And the first thing you say is, I think myself happy. This is far beyond positive thinking. Paul said, I think myself happy. Why? He says, because I'm standing doing what Jesus told me that I would do. And so you will have challenges this week. You'll have opposition this week. As I said last week, get your eyes off the opposition, get your eyes on the opportunity. But you're going to have to make a decision like Paul said, I think myself happy. I choose to be happy. I choose joy. I'm not going to stay in the darkness and the depression of my mind. I choose joy. I choose what to think about. I choose to think myself happy. Well, how do I think myself happy? Philippians chapter 4. Let's go there before we close. You're going to have to make a decision, if you can go forward in the plan of God, to think yourself happy. Is more than positive thinking. It's putting the word into practice. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, my brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things have a good report, if there any virtue, if there's anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So how do you think yourself happy? You got to think on things that are true, things that are noble, things that are just, things that are pure, things that are lovely, things that are of a good report. What is a good report? You're the healed. What's a good report? Your family's saved. What's a good report? God's working all things for your good. What's a good report? God loves you. What's a good report? You have the victory. What's a good report? God turns things around for you. What's a good report? You have open doors. What's a good report? God gives you opportunities. What's a good report? God gives you wisdom. What's a good report? You have favor with God, man, and government. Those are good reports. Think on those things to the point where you get happy and stirred up with joy on the inside, that you can look at the challenges you face today and this week and say, guess what? I'm going to win. No matter what the enemy throws at me, I'm on the winning side. No matter what comes against me, I have the victory. Thanks be to God who always calls me to triumph. Thanks be to God who always gives me the victory. Thanks be to God who's made me more than a conqueror through him that loves me. That's how you think yourself happy. You have to begin to think on these things and read these things and speak these things until you're encouraged on the inside and that you take on the giants of your day. You do not run at a giant with your mouth closed. What did David do? He ran at Goliath saying the promises of God, saying what was going to happen. Don't run at your giant with your mouth closed today. Speak the words of God. Speak what God has told you to do. Do what God has called you to do. Know that you're on the winning side. Refuse to allow the enemy to intimidate you. Think yourself happy. This is going to be a great week for you, full of miracles, signs, and wonders, open doors, opportunities, and favor. God has a great plan for your life. Don't allow the enemy to talk you out of it. We're out of time. Make sure you read today's newsletter. I love you so much. Remember, something good is going to happen to you, so expect miracles. God bless. Make sure you subscribe today.